Back again, I see.
What do you know about a Sura mercenary coming to Thole?
Can't tell you anything about the Sura, I'm afraid. I never get too close to them. When you've been a merchant for as long as I have, you learn when to keep your distance from their kind. Helms, mail.
What do you know about Fairuz making deals with the Sura?
I don't really know what Fairuz gets up to, but he sure had a lot of silver on him that day the Sura was in town. You don't think... No, forget I asked. I don't want to know. Helms, mail, break.
I'm here to collect the tariff.
Oh, is it time for that already? Very well, here you go.
Much obliged, merchant.
Be safe. Always good to see you, friend.
What do you know about a Sura mercenary coming to Thole?
He came through the gates, went to the hostel, and left. That's all I know, really. Oh, I was just glad to see him leave town, to be honest. Always good to see you, friend.
What do you know about Fairuz making deals with the Sura?
No doubt about it. That Sura definitely gave something to Fairuz before leaving town. But if he asks, you didn't hear that from me. Always good to see you, friend.
I am here for the tariff.
Ah, I had wondered about that. Please, give Morphew my regards.
How surprisingly compliant.
Stay safe, traveler. Welcome.
What do you know about a Sura mercenary coming to Thole?
I wasn't even in town when it happened. You'll have to ask elsewhere. Welcome, welcome.
No one beats me on price, friend.
You can either tell me what your deal with the Sura was, or you can experience the power of a mage firsthand.
Don't hurt me. I just arranged the messenger, I swear. Kench, the woman who ran the hostel, she asked me to get a message to the one-eyed Sura warrior. He paid me in silver for informing him. But I was only doing what Kench asked of me. You have my word. No one beats me on price.
What was Kench doing dealing with the Sura?
She sold him out. The Ishkai who was living there betrayed him to save her own neck. You wouldn't know to look at her, but Kench brokered contracts for mercenaries all around the heretic kingdoms. Before she came to Thole, she hired the one-eyed Sura, but the job went sour. Her employer was slain, and the Sura was never paid. If there's one thing you don't do in the mercenary business, it's welsh on a debt to a Sura warrior. I guess she saw handing over the Ishkai as a way to wipe out her debts. Best weapons in the outland.
You came back?
Your money, merchant.
You have my gratitude. So much easier than trying to negotiate with those jackals myself. You wanted information? I can tell you this. If you want to get into the Guild of Steel, Arashad can get you into the cellar. But beware, as the guild has some vicious traps down there. Weapons, armor...
Did you know someone named Kench?
Don't know anything useful about that, I'm afraid, but I'll bet someone in town does. Weapons, armor...
Ah,
Did you know someone named Kench?
I know of her, sure, but I haven't seen her since the siege began. Ah, what do you have for me? Always good.
Did you know someone named Kench?
Yes, of course. She used to run the hostel when I was supplying them. Seemed friendly enough, and I didn't pry. Everyone in Thal has secrets, you know. Always good to see you, friend. Take care, friend.
Back so...
Did you know someone...
No, sorry. Welcome, welcome. You are always welcome here.
Do you have it? You bailed me out here. You have my thanks and my money. I owe you one, friend.
Elms.
Did you know someone...
Is that the woman who runs the hostel? I guess she fled Thal before the siege. Back again, I see. May you prevail in all your battles, my friend.
Always good to see you, friend. Take care, friend.
Back so soon.
I grant you the mercy of the grave.
Weapons, armor, supplies, excellent prices, superb quality. Come back soon.
Bring your unwanted goods to me. Your customers are always welcome.
Thou art already dead. Usha, come out from whence thee hides. Thou hast misplaced thy trust in thy friend, Kench. She betrayed thee. Yet another letter. So, she didst not betray thee, and thou hast guarded her fallen remains since thy deaths. How touching. Come, spirit. Thy vigil has ended. Join me. That soul is mine now.
An Ishkai sniper will make an excellent ally.
And thankfully, a silent one.
These bastards keep putting the price of food up.
Follow this path and continue on up the stairs, and you'll find Adashad. Wanyon offers a fair price for a variety of goods. I've been here so long, I have sand in places I didn't know I had. I'm worried what the nomads might do to my family.
The siege will soon be over, I'm sure.
You shall become naught but dust.
I hope the nomads clear off soon. Standing around all day is boring.
I hear the Juke's a gate weaver. Perhaps he should weave us out of here. We've run out of bread to sell. It's not a good sign. It's a terrible time to be a merchant. If the nomads don't get us, the aphotic spiders will. If we don't get relief soon, I may be forced into prostitution. I hear that Rabath pays a high price for poultices and ingredients. This siege is really cutting into my stocks. I hear that Rabath pays a high price for poultices and ingredients. I'm worried what the nomads might do to my family. If we don't get relief soon, I may be forced into prostitution. Wanyon offers a fair price for a variety of goods.
Are you the Silk Master?
I am the head of the Guild of Silk, milady.
Guild of Silk? When were the merchants allowed to form guilds?
Milady, who in the city is going to stop us?
Forgive me. Thole is not as I remember it.
Really? It's the same old crap hole it's ever been. My name is Arashad. How should I address you, milady?
Call me Evia.
You have questions?
What can you tell me about the Garulian Empire?
Why do you want to know?
It's a personal matter. When did the Empire fall?
Oh, some 3 centuries ago. I don't know much about it. Something about the sword and the theocrat. The start of a terrible era for some lands, I understand. I only really know the history of Thole, I'm afraid. What do you need? How can I help?
What survives from the Empire in Thole?
Precious little, milady. This once mighty settlement is reduced to ruins. The Tholian catacombs were once a very popular burial site for Garulian nobles, I'm told. But without one of the catacomb keys, it would be hard to explore too far. However, I've read that there might be an imperial tomb somewhere in the chambers to the west. If this part of history interests you, you should certainly search around the burial grounds. That place is crawling with aphotic spiders, though, so be careful, my lady. How can I help? How can I help?
How fares the Guild of Silk?
Alas, 'tis a bad time to be a Tholian merchant. The city is surrounded by a horde of nomads intent on sacking it. Terrible things lurk in the shadows of the catacombs. On the other hand, Guild of Silk profits are up this quarter. Nothing like a siege to drive up the price of food, huh? What do you need?
How long will the supplies last?
Hard to say, really. Possibly a year? If a sandstorm forces the nomads to retreat, even longer. Not to mention that the Intendant is an excellent gate weaver. He may have means to help us beyond even this. It's an inconvenience, but there are bigger dangers within the walls than without. You have questions?
What can you tell me about the Intendant?
Very little, milady. He overthrew my father as Intendant. I had no love for my father, but he was bloodkin, you know? I do not trust the Duke, and not just because he's in the Order of the Veil. Everyone knows the Order is just the thin veneer of respectability the Inquisition uses to cloak its institutional corruption. Thole would be better off without him. What do you need? How can I help?
What do you know about a Sura mercenary coming to Thole?
This is really none of my business. Please, leave me out of this. Please, ask your questions.
Did you know someone named Kench?
She used to run the hostel, didn't she? Honestly, outside the Guild of Silk, my knowledge of the people of Thole gets a little sketchy. What do you need?
Might I render you aid in return for something?
Milady, it would be my honor to have your assistance in a number of problematic situations. I've lost a few merchants to aphotic spider attacks at night. Nasty creatures. And recently hiding in every shadow, it seems. There's also a more, delicate matter. One involving, shall we say, a reappropriation of assets. Please, ask your questions.
What do you need stolen and why?
When he defeated my father and became Intendant, Darmok also took something. A sword, a family heirloom, you might say. It was given to my father by my grandfather, and to him by his father before him. Darmok gave it to the mercenaries as a gift, to secure his alliance with them. But the sword is mine by right of birth, and I want it back. Take this key. It will open the cellar to the Guild of Steel. The sword will be down there somewhere, I'm certain. Far too valuable as a bargaining chip for anyone to be wielding it. Find the sword and bring it back to me. I will pay you 200 in return. You will know it by the engraved pattern of 2 entwined serpents on the hilt and blade. What do you need?
I can take care of the aphotic spiders for you.
I would be most grateful, milady. Bring me the carcasses of 10 spiders, and I'll pay you 5 apiece. Search inside the burial grounds, southwest of the market. They seem to be infesting there in great numbers. You have questions?